Okay, the point of this video is just to show you how I set up this fairly cheap watering system. It goes as far as 5 beds. I have one there. I have another one for that side, but that's pretty messy. So let me show you what I did here. I just kind of took an old hose, connected it here, and then I got these little adjustable sprinklers so I could turn each one individually and kind of adjust it so they're fairly even in each bed, because you do have pressure differences in each hose. But that's basically what I did. It seems to be working pretty well. It was just an old hose, so it didn't cost me anything. The sprinklers themselves, they were about $13 on Amazon. I'll try to put a link to that item in the description for this video, but let me just show you what I did here. So these are the parts I pretty much used. You don't want to skimp out on a good gasket sealer, because that will cause you problems like I found out the hard way. So just go with something that's for plumbing. You should be fine. I used this stuff, and then I used these adapters. These were at Lowe's and they were pretty cheap, like 50 to 60 cents. I think the T might have cost a little more, but basically these 3 different ones. Some ties, just because I wanted to cheap out on the metal clamps for each hose, and they seem to work pretty good. Just make sure they're nice and tight. And then I used 1/4. Depending on what kind of hose you use, you might need the 3/4, but 1/4 was good for this, because I was using these 2 different types of hose and they all have an inner liner. So 1/4 seemed to be pretty much a good fit. It was a little loose on that, but with a good gasket cleaner or sealer, it worked fine. And then these are these. So these are the little adapters I used. And as you can see, they kind of turn, they click off and on. Sorry, I'm trying to get in focus there. So you could probably use drippers too, but I like these because you can adjust them so I can get the pressure to where it needs to be in each one. They like I said, they're about 13 bucks, I think. I'll put a description or a link to the item on Amazon. That's where I found them, but you can get them anywhere. Or you could use drippers. You just have less control that way. So yeah, that's basically it. And all I did is drill a little hole right in the hose. I don't know what size I used, but it was about that size, so it was a very small bit. Then you just kind of plug them into the top here. I just spaced them, kind of eyeballed it, but as you can see, they kind of sprinkle a little bit. If you didn't have so many on here, you would get better pressure and they'd probably squirt out better. But I just wanted to cover every bed with one hose, so I did it this way. And this gray hose here is basically connected right up. Okay, so here's a close-up of one of these. Basically, I just used one of these T-joints, and like I said, I cheaped out and used these zip ties. And if you get them nice and tight, they're not bad. Yeah, it might drip a little bit, I'm not sure, but not any amount that would matter. Then on the other side here, I have a rock on top of it. It's where I used one of these, and they're just an end cap. You could easily just kink the hose and tie it down like that. It would work fine too. But I decided to try to be a little fancy. That black stuff is just a little flex seal I put on it here. And then it kind of branches off there, and it branches off there. But this hose just goes to my timer. At some point it will be automated, so I don't have to turn it off and on. And it'll help keep the weeds out of there, because I won't be watering the weeds like I was with a sprinkler. So I hope this was helpful to you. It was nice and cheap. Probably cost me about 20 bucks total. This is my greenhouse. But yeah, give it a try if you're bored. I did the same thing in here, except that instead of using the sprinklers, I just used drippers. don't know what size dripper they are, but as long as you get them all the same consistency, should work same way. That's for hanging baskets, so I don't have any set up yet. Yeah, same concept. So just use your old crappy hoses. If you have any that you're getting rid of, you can give them a second life this way instead of buying one of these little kits that come with a bunch of junk parts. You can just buy the adapters themselves, the little drippers, and just hook them up to a hose, and then it will cost you nothing if you already have the hosing. So hope that was helpful. Bye.